Hello everyone, thank you very much for meeting me here. This is the first time we're meeting. My name is Todd, so happy to have you here. So for the last 2 days, I have been unpacking this download from my Akashic records, and I'm here to present it to you today. So my goal with providing this message is to awaken you to your multidimensional self through the process of revelation. And before I get into it, I just want to say that there are many souls on this planet who are on the spiritual path. That does not necessarily mean that those souls are on the ascension path. When you think about it, we are all on the ascension path, but very few have been designated in this lifetime to accelerate and actually produce the results of that ascension path. So, if the spiritual path is the road less traveled, the ascension path is the road never traveled. And it is long, full of potholes, full of dead ends, full of detours, and there's a lot that can go on because on this ascension path you are forced to face your shadow, which is a blessing, which it doesn't always seem like that when you're going through it. But all your karma from past lives and all your unlearned lessons are going to come to the surface and present themselves to you face on. So anything that exists in your field that does not meet the vibration of where you're going is going to present itself to you. And how fast you clear and work through these things is going to determine how quickly you catch on to things. So let's say you have a limiting belief system and you're having trouble clearing it. Well, that belief system is going to keep recycling and recycling and recycling until you figure it out and let it go so that you can move on to the next step of the process. And doing this work, some people whiz right through it. Some people have no problem letting go of attachments and limitations, and that has a lot to do with how they've been raised, how their parents and certain leadership figures in their life behaved and acted towards them. There are a lot of factors that go into this, and it is a tall task that we are facing. But that's okay, and before we came to this planet, we were willing to pay any price in order to get where we were going. Because what's the cost of mastery? What wouldn't you do to achieve that? What wouldn't humanity go through in order to reach that state? It's what it's all about. It's why we're here. It's the process of rediscovering the creator inside of you so that you have full reign to create in this reality as you please. And how do you do that? What is the process of doing that? Well, the biggest factor that goes into that is belief. And you hear teachers on this ascension path saying all the time, well, every soul, every individual on this planet has the opportunity to do this. Everybody can reach and go into a multidimensional state at any time. And usually that's about the time the ego and the belief systems kick in, saying that it can't possibly be that easy. There must be more that I have to do. It can't be as simple as that. But what if we just let it be that simple just for a minute? What if we have the tools that we need to reach that multidimensional state right now as we sit here listening to my voice? What if that multidimensional state was called the imagination? And as soon as you hear that, sometimes you've been doing this a long time and you hear that and a bunch of alarm bells start going off. Well, that is your filter interjecting and filtering that truth so that it can't fully register to the creator inside of you. And some of us are getting this. Some of us are in our four-dimensional state, and we are able to penetrate up and get into that multidimensional state. And sometimes we're even able to bring that energy back down with us. But what we're being asked to do right now is to go into that multidimensional state and reclaim our home. So instead of trying to go up, 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 we are existing in that state without all these limitations and these filters, and we're just sending down what we need. We need abundance in this area of our life. We need clarity in this area of our life. We need more creativity in this area of our life. Here's an idea. Here's a revelation. Let us now take full advantage of the opportunity we have to create in this reality. Because the imagination is the creator's playground, and you're the creator. That's where the seeds of consciousness are planted. And if you get to that space and you're able to disregard the barrier of belief, you can send that energy right back down the pipeline to be applied to your everyday life. So let's talk about that belief filter. You hear all the time from teachers everywhere that your natural state is a childlike state. And in that childlike state, you have freedom to create. And your imagination can do anything. It has literally no limit, and you can spend your entire day in fantasy land building and creating and experiencing anything you want, just living and existing in that place. And from that point forward, we slowly get initiated into the limitations of this reality and the programming that exists here, so that you have a lot of trouble going up and creating and visualizing and creating whatever it is you wish to experience. But that barrier also restricts you from sending anything back down, which is what you're meant to do. Because in that state, all dimensions, all possibilities exist. And you can be holding, let's say, a pencil in your hand and envisioning having a pencil in your hand, and that vision that you are holding on to is more real than what appears to be physical pencil in your hand. They call it the illusion for a reason. And if you can get past that barrier of belief, everything is possible. Just ask your dreams. You can go to sleep at any time, enter that natural state of being, and go anywhere. You would never hear somebody hear of a concept given in dream time and they would think that was impossible. They would say, yeah, I can see that happening. I can go to sleep and go anywhere. Well, how about we stay awake and go anywhere? What if we let ourselves go there and we stake our claim and rediscover what is rightfully ours? And I'm not saying you're going to go to that place, you're going to drop this belief system, you're going to drop this filter and automatically receive a multidimensional upgrade. It may take some time to go up there without these limitations and radiate yourselves with that multidimensional energy over time, and pretty soon you meld and become one with that space. So let that be an idea that propels you going forward. And even if you are someone who thinks that's ridiculous, why not see for yourself? Why not give it a shot and see what happens? Why not try something new? If you are on this path and you've been beating your head into a wall over and over again, why not give it a shot? Why not take a chance on something that could be the ticket you've been looking for all of this time? And you might say, I go into my imagination all the time, but I don't feel like anything is coming back with me. I don't feel like I'm able to convert that energy into the results here in the illusion. Well, then I'll ask you, what are you doing while you're there? Are you getting your emotions engaged? Are you experiencing the environment? Are you interacting with the elements there? Are you calling forward the guides and the masters and the ancestors to validate your worthiness to create in that space? Because I'll tell you something that made a huge difference for me. In the beginning, I had been going through the same modalities over and over again, and nothing was really changing for me. But when I fully engaged in letting myself see and experience the truth that exists in that place over the course of a few weeks, things started to open up. And I'll tell you some of the exercises I did to achieve that. Picture an object and hold that object in your mind as long as possible. And it doesn't have to be something that's complex, and in fact, the simpler the better. Just go there, hold the vision, let's say a pencil again, or a flower, let's go nature. Create that image in your head and create along with it the energy of appreciation, of awe and gratitude, and create a spectacle over something simple that will then send a cascade of multidimensional energy back into the illusion for you. And something that's more profound that I've been really into lately is going to a place. In my meditations, I create a world. I give this world a backstory. I give it lore. I give it sacredness. I am alone in this place, sitting, and I can smell the flowers. I can feel the wind hitting my face. I envision bodies of water, and I submerge myself in this water, and I feel the refreshing tone of that energy that every cell receives. I envision meeting people, loved ones, past lives, masters, whoever wants to meet me in that space in a high vibrational way. I imagine animals emerging from the trees, and I fully embrace them, whoever they are, whatever they are, and I envision a path, and I walk through that path. I touch the trees, I speak to the trees, I am followed by groups of animals and birds and whoever wishes to co-create that energy with me. And as I'm doing this, my physical four-dimensional body is lighting up every single cell. And there's no other way for me to get that experience unless I go to this place fully committed in creating and experiencing something that's more real than the illusion that we exist in currently. And every cell is flooded with love, gratitude, and appreciation. And it opens the portal so much that no lower dimensional energies can exist in this vessel, and they are burned away. They're banished. They are exiled. Because if there are any limitations, if there are any doubts and disbelief, they have no business being in the presence of gratitude and appreciation and love. So, going forward, set the expectation and set it high for yourself, and let that inner child come through. And if you're having trouble in doing that, ask your guides to bypass whatever is blocking that so that you can fully embrace this journey of the Creator that you are on. So that's all I have to say today. Hopefully this has brought to you an idea or planted a seed that can help you move forward and avoid some of these detours that we take that can take years, which it's 2021 now, and we don't really have time for that, because why waste any more time? Let us just be in the space of creation and let the magnificence of who we are fully embody this being. Thank you very much. Goodbye.